Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D, Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Powers Parlays is the show for you. Place your bet and get ready to win big with Mike Powers and Powers Parlay right here on the Gambler.
It feels like the only way I'm going to win is through these bets now. The New York Mets. I don't throw in the towel, Jansen, until they're mathematically out. But geez, I can't tell you. And I really felt they had to come out last night and just perform.
Haven't you learned your lesson from Rocky IV?
Yeah, I
Just
don't
throw
know
in
when
the
to quit.
towel.
I don't
Just
know.
throw it in.
Got my eye open. I keep watching. I don't know, but there's some funny things going on. If you don't know, it's only getting more and more comical. I get it where I'm Philly, but you gotta admit it's. I want to create a new stat. Maybe you can help me with it because you're like very good with stats, Jensen. But watchability. I wanna create like a stat for each team's watchability, performance wise, right? So maybe call it WAP, watchability. I don't know. But the Mets watchability, regardless.
Did you just make it like a Cardi B?
I did.
Minaj joke?
Yeah, it's cool. Tough crowd. But in all
no, I just don't think it's the right demographic kind of crowd.
Well, it would be hilarious because they wouldn't realize that they're enjoying some WAP until somebody else laughing about it. It's kind of like when I first started selling TVs. They were enhanced definition, so it was ED, and there was always these old men that would laugh about ED TVs. And you probably don't get that joke.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, Google what ED is, erectile dysfunction.
Oh yeah. I know how to be careful about that one.
Yeah. But ED
is this a movie?
No, ED TVs were 480p to be underneath 720. So it was a flat panel television.
Apparently, ED TV is also a rom-com.
Okay.
An American satirical comedy film directed by Ron Howard.
It wasn't high definition. It was enhanced definition.
Started.
So it was a 480p television, but it was a flat panel. So it was a little bit cheaper, and old men would come in and they would crack these jokes about it being ED TVs. He's like, yeah, I need that one. Am I right? But anyway, so you're hearing new things throughout New York, and it's very watchable because they're the lovable losers for sure. It's been that way since '63 when they were created, when that song that Sean Brace played all day on Monday,
Meet the Mets,
was created. The Mets. So with Oakland, you're hearing Sell the Team, right? All over.
Do Mets fans actually like that song?
Yeah, man.
Is that one that they'll play if they win? Okay.
I mean, the 76ers have a very similar
yeah, but also we hate that song.
Dude, at least not when you win. You're like 76ers. Yeah.
I think most of the time we hate that
song. I don't know, man. I see people leaving the crowd.
Let's just say I would love that song to be retired.
Okay.
If that song wasn't played again ever in Wells Fargo Center, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, it's same thing. Like in the 80s, kind of like the Eagles did with the Christmas album. The Mets dropped like a rock album, and it was pretty awesome. I'm
a rock guy,
so I'd like to watch that.
That's good.
But yeah, you heard in Oakland, you're hearing Sell the Team. Well, Mets Twitter today is blowing up with Sell the Players. And it's something we talked about yesterday on the Daily Ticket, where you could get value by selling off players, paying their contracts, and picking up prospects. So it's one way they could build a farm system. And, Steve Cohen announced he's going to address.
I was about to say, is that what the press conference is going to be about?
Yeah, the Met universe tomorrow. And I don't know what they're going to talk about. I don't know what he's going to say. He's going to come out of his shell. He obviously all the last month was not on Twitter. He made a few jokes. That was it. Like somebody said, "Where's the ruthless businessman?" And he replied back, "I don't know who Ruth is, but I'm not sure if she works here," or something like that. So it was a really, really dumb dad joke, and you just look around and right now, there's going to be people in the crowd today if rain permits, and I do have a parlay with the Mets included into it. But it's because they're giving away some bobblehead. So I was looking up at StubHub earlier. You could get into their stadium for under $5 for the rest of the week. So to say that it's over, I mean, it sure looks like it's not good. I mean, they're not going to make much money. It doesn't look like fans want to come. I saw a lot of text messages blowing up of fans asking, "Hey, you want to go to the game?" And a lot of people saying no. So whereas you see this rise in Philadelphia, that was a great game. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody knew about it. Twitter blew up over that comeback, one hit comeback, one hit comeback. I like to point that out. Both games that the Phillies took from the Mets, they did not need to win. So when you're able to take two teams games in the division and not really like perform to win, you got to feel great about that. You just won a series and your guys were a little bit, underperforming, especially Bryce Harper and guys like that. So when you really think about it, you got out of that series. You took two games and you didn't have to overperform. So the average law of averages are going to help you out in your next series. And when your guys tend to hit home runs or the offense is clicking and the pitching is looking strong. So, the only game that I really felt that Philadelphia should have won, you could argue Saturday. Saturday, Sanchez went toe to toe with Mad Max. Got a standing ovation. It felt like anybody could have won that game. And the Mets ironically won that one. So whatever, go figure. A lot of guys are saying on Twitter right now, you got to bereave if you're the Mets. I know that's a slogan that Tug McGraw made famous in Philadelphia, but it originally started in 1969 with Tug when he was on the Mets. So, it's a dark day. It's a dark day. And for Queens, it's a dark day in Philly, but that's because of all these rainstorms, man. It's nuts. I had to take a boat to get here to see you.
Yeah, I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
I want it to stop.
We needed it when it was the fires were here. Like, where was all this rain when we needed it? Now we're getting it 2 weeks later, and it's just, I don't know. Speaking of rain, have you seen the bird bath in Baltimore? Have you seen this, Jen?
No.
Okay, so they started this thing. It was a joke amongst the Oriole players, but now it's come to life where they have a section in the park where if the Orioles do something great, they come out with like super soakers and just spray you like a bird bath. So I think it's cool. I think that if I was the Eagles, I would try to make my own version of it. But yeah, it's definitely taken a life of its own.
I have seen that.
Yeah,
right? They just soak the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay, I have seen that.
So
it's weird, but I like it.
With all the new everybody playing everybody and stuff like that, the Mets are scheduled to go to Baltimore. So I was like, dude, I get it. I'm a Met fan, but I want to sit in the bird bath area or at least check it out.
Would you wear your Mets gear in there?
So I'm not really that kind of guy. Like, I don't know if you saw Brace.
You're a coward.
No, I'm not. I'll wear it.
You won't wear away colors in Citizens Bank Park or anything, or?
Well, I mean, that was I had to come to terms once I had a child that I did not want to die. Philly used to get it. No, they used to be. They like during the vet. I'm telling you, there was a.
Oh well, yeah, that's the vet.
Yeah, a closed beer bottle. I had to like knock away that almost hit my wife in the head. And if it hit her in the head, she would have been knocked out. So that was, yeah, it used to get bad, man. It used to get bad. And it gets bad if the Mets and the Phillies start like really going toe to toe. Like some of those Septembers in the 2000s, I remember it being pretty nuts, So the Rollins, Wright, Reyes, Utley, Howard time, definitely got a little crazy. I mean, and sometimes I hate to say it, but it's like it becomes like if the Mets start winning, or the other way, like they start chanting the football team. So it will be the Eagles if the Mets are winning, the Phillies team starts doing that, and then if the Mets are winning, you just hear these the Phillies are winning, you hear these giant chants, and you're just like, dude, this has nothing to do with the two teams on the field. Like you guys just came here to give each other guff. So, it bleeds into the baseball world. And, you can't harm that. I mean, that's what pays the bills. I'm not mad at it as long as everybody goes home safe. No, the reason why I don't wear, like, I don't know, man. Like, I like wearing jerseys. Don't get me wrong. I wear them around the house, stuff like that. I have some funny ones. I like wearing like movie ones, or like my favorite one's
like
my
a Shane Falco type thing.
Kenny Powers, my brother,
nice.
Big old K-Pow. But yeah, I just
Oh yeah, is he
lately,
your cousin?
yeah, he's got to be. It's better than all the Austin jokes, dude. That was the worst thing about my last name. Is like, how's your brother Austin? I would be like, yo, dude, like I've never heard that before.
Those are great movies.
Yeah, no,
Do you hate those movies
I hate
because
watching
of
them.
that now?
Yeah, I did.
Oh no!
Yeah,
So those jokes ruin the movies for you.
In high school, I didn't have to work out or do anything. A girl would be like, "You got an awesome last name." I'd be like, "You want it?" And they like, honestly, that's why I'm good at sales. Like from those engagement, like cockiness and like I said, I have really nice blue eyes too. So enough about me. But yeah, my last name definitely was awesome. And then here rolls in this yellow tooth British guy with my last name, which is weird because I'm German. So I was completely confused by his choice of last name, and people would be like, "Oh, your last name is how'd your brother Austin?" And they think it's like the funniest thing, and nobody's ever come up with it before. And I'm just like, yeah, this is annoying.
If your parents had a sense of humor and had another son, Austin would have been great.
Yeah, if and people ask, so if you have a son, you're gonna name it Austin?
You should.
No,
come on, do it.
I'll have one.
The joke is
you.
long gone. The joke is long gone. Nobody knows what Austin Powers is now.
Kenny
can do it.
Kenny definitely helped boost my morale. So thank you, Kenny Powers.
Wow, so you just didn't like Austin Powers?
No, I gave Kenny Powers a shot because you got to give him a shot, but also because of the fact that he's a baseball player. So and he's a funny guy. Will Ferrell kills it in that thing. But also, I was rewatching that when the whole world was shut down, and oh my god, every episode they could have gotten canceled if they could not make that show today, and that's crazy to think because it's not that old, But look, we have a packed show for you today. I got my buddy Phil calling in. He's a t-shirt guru. He actually has all the license from Fanatics to make the championship t-shirts that you see at every Super Bowl, World Series, stuff like that. So he's a huge merch guy. In the sports world, he's had relationships with some of the top designers, help create products like that. So we're going to talk to him, for a little bit and get his feel on the sports world itself and his involvement in it, and how it's always changing. Because if you think about it, you used to have your local store that you would go to. I always remember Modell's, and now they're gone. So the game has changed. He's had to adapt to that. I want to talk to him about that and some things like that. But before we do that, we got some games tonight, and it's pretty exciting stuff, man. I'm looking around and I see a lot of value, and I'm going to go with it. One, I think I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm taking the Mets and the Phils money line. It's plus 204. I had a bonus to make it like plus 240. I like it only because of the fact that the Mets eventually have to win, right? Like the law of averages, like they have to win, but also they could get rained out and then it's voided. So there's some hope. I'm still hanging on to it. I don't know, but that's pretty much it on that end. I'm also going Kyle Schwarber to hit a home run, because I saw this Wawa gear when I came into the studio, and I was like, you know what? That's like,
yeah, a lot of Wawa swag.
Yeah, iHeart is doing it up with Wawa for sure. Shout out to them. I'm a frequent Wawa guy myself. I take pride in every time I use the rewards thing, I get like a free.
It's almost disgusting how many times I go to Wawa.
Yeah. You ever notice? And I can't say it on the air, but if you order a shorty, Italian shorty, it comes up very bad. Like the ticket says,
right, because it shortens it and it shortens it to something. Okay, that's not good.
That's not good. That would rhymes with it. But yeah, So I'm like, oh, that's not very good. And then the classic Italian is not any better, and you can figure that one out on your own. But so I always thought that was strange. What I don't think is strange is my 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 Phillies parlay for today. I'm actually pretty excited about it. It's a tough one. I'm feeling a win. So this is plus 700. And if you know me and have been following the show, I don't normally do parlays that are above 450. Like I try to be a realist. So this is plus 700. I'm breaking my own rules and I added a home run to this, but I really feel that he's going to hit a home run today in Chicago. And that's the man, Bryce Harper. So Bryce Harper to hit a home run, Trey Turner to get a hit, and my man Ranger Suarez to get 4+ strikeouts. So it hits at plus 700. It's going to hit. Bryce Harper has to show you something. I think getting on the road, getting out of town, again, as long as that game plays too, because they have like fires in Chicago right now. They're going through what we went through a couple weeks ago. I saw that. And so hopefully all these games happen. If not, it's just been 20 minutes of complete and utter nothing. But yeah, so those are my plays for tonight. I don't know, Jansen, you got anything you're looking at?
I think the Phillies money line is actually a good play. I think that's a good price for Ranger Suarez going up against a terrible Jameson Taillon. And it just you have to match Taillon with his ERA and how bad he's been with an offense that doesn't do well in Chicago. So yeah, you can throw at me that the Phillies don't do much offensively, but they have a good matchup here, and they do have guys that have some pop. So yeah, I think it's a worth it price for Suarez. I think anything higher than like minus 135 I'd stay away from, but I saw minus 130, I saw minus 125. All those numbers I'd be for the Phillies.
Yeah, I locked them in at minus 125.
The Mets, yeah.
Mets were at minus 145. I put them together and I got 204. So plus 204. So look, that's what I'm going with. I'm hoping I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm hoping for anymore. I mean, like I said, I'm loyal as a fan, as a sports guy. I'm not stupid, right? As a bettor, I'm gonna stop betting the Mets after today. I promise you. If I get burned, no, I got it again. Now this is the problem I have. Like I normally like picking other games. The other day when I was on your show, I actually had I was big on Sonny Gray, and who else was it? Yeah, who cares? I have it right here.
Sonny Gray did pitch pretty well.
Yeah, I had Gray with four Ks, Strider with 8. They both hit, and I had Gallo getting a hit. It all hit. It was 325. So that was yesterday's play. Just in case I had it, in case we ran out of Met talk, but obviously the Mets, their watchability is so good. That we didn't run out of any Med talk to talk when I was on the daily ticket. But look, when
you need to do a list, like give me a list of the things you think Steve Cohen's going to say tomorrow. What could possibly be said?
I think he's going to remind everybody that the Mets won over 100 games last year.
So this is going to be more of a try and things look bad now, but trust me.
Right. Look,
it's not as bad as it seems.
And it's not the same.
You don't think it's going to be a fire sale type thing of, okay, yeah, show Walters on the hot seat and
we're going to make moves. They're definitely going to make moves. They're going to change.
I think they have to.
Yeah. People that are there right now will not be there, by the end of the month for sure, or the beginning of next month. And then the other thing is like, he's going to remind everybody that he's fully invested, right? So it's not the same old Mets. It's a guy who's willing to invest in the team. The results very similar to what Met fans are used to, but it's not the same old Mets. Like they have an owner that wants to win. And they want to win because they want to do it for his father-in-law, who's getting up there in age. I'm a huge Met fan. One of the reasons why the Cohens fought so hard, if you remember, there's 2 bids. They almost bought the team twice. Had to walk away from the table, came back and won it against A-Rod and company. Thank God that happened, right? Could you imagine if I had to sit through, I love you, A-Rod, but sit through a press conference tomorrow with him explaining this? Holy cow. Oh my God. No, thanks. At least Cohen's watchability is way better than Cohen's.
Because he seems like a loose cannon.
Yeah, Cohen will get what he wants. I think he will reinvest. you could see a lot of things happening, and I'm gonna have to put money in the jar.
So do you
but
want an update here from Chicago? So this is from Scott Lauber, a Phillies reporter for the Inquirer.
Mhm.
Air quality here in Chicago is worsened. There's another meeting coming up between MLB and the Players Association. So far, the game is still on.
Yeah.
So there could be a chance.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. If they have to have meetings about it, it doesn't sound like it's gonna be good. And, from our experience, I think it's the right call. Uh, you know, you could play tomorrow, you could play another day. Uh, when we went through our air quality control thing, it was rough. It was for sure. We had to cancel some live events we had because of that. So, I mean, it's just, it stinks on a Tuesday night, especially raining when your team's away, to find out you're not going to see your team play not because of a rain delay. Like, that's bizarre, right? It's kind of like in the beginning of the season, a couple years ago, the Mets were away, and I remember they were snowed out. I was like, it's not even snowing here. I still had to go to work and everything, and now so that dampens the day for sure. But who knows? It might happen. You never know. What time? What is that? An 8:30 start?
8:05.
8:05. They got to make a decision soon.
Yeah, I know it took a while for them to postpone the Phillies game.
Yeah,
I remember that. So it does take them a bit to really figure it out, because it is not something that you're used to dealing with.
No,
if you're Major League Baseball,
right? Or anybody. It's very bizarre. It's happening more than ever. Everything's happening. I'm not.
I'm not surprised by anything.
And nothing anymore. It's so weird.
Also, very sad news. I don't know how big of a college football guy you are.
Yeah.
But Ryan Mallett, the former quarterback for Arkansas, got drafted by the Patriots. Really good quarterback. He ended up drowning today and passed away at the age of 35.
Jeez.
One of my favorite, I think, college football quarterbacks. I mean, there are always guys that kind of stand out to you because of certain traits and how good they were. I mean, he was on great Arkansas teams, led him to a 10-win season in 2010. And he had 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, but he was huge. He was, I want to say, like 6'6", something like that, 6'5", 6'6", had a rocket arm, and was so much fun to watch in college. So,
Did they say where? Was it at home?
In Florida. I don't know exactly where, but I know in Florida.
I don't mess with the ocean, so I'm not a swimmer. I don't swim, so but that's awful. That is the worst way imaginable.
Yeah, very sad.
Like, honestly, like, even with that submarine thing, that's what made it a little more digestible for me, was like, oh well, at least they didn't suffer or whatever. But that's absolutely brutal, and condolences to his family.
Yeah.
With that said, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we're back, we'll dial up Phil and we'll talk some merch. So this is Powers Parlays on Fox Sports The Gambler.
Get your tickets now
at AXS.com
for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Coming back to Las Vegas.
2 nights.
September 22nd and 23rd.
1 stage.
At T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
This is the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Buy your tickets for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival now.
Before they sell out.
At AXS.com.
That's AXS.com.
Head to Rita's for a 5-layer gelati. Back for a limited time only. Be cool. Go to Rita's.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Heads up, we've got a crash on 95 northbound. Traffic is crawling Coppin to Academy where the left lane is blocked. For Jan the Schuylkill eastbound, Blue Route to Belmont and Montgomery Drive to University. Westbound crawling approaching University to Girard and Boulevard to Belmont. Boulevard northbound stacked up Schuylkill to Broad, and southbound jam between 9th and Fox. Watch for delays on the Blue Route southbound Broomall to Media Swarthmore and northbound 95 past McDade. Lara Tutela, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by STEM.
Humans can do a lot of amazing things. Fighting bugs? Ew, a bug, get it, isn't one of them. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to fight off bugs safely and effectively when used as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Step inside the Legacy Club at Woodcrest, and you'll find a remarkable modern Italian steakhouse. The brand new Randall's Restaurant offers picturesque views of the Cherry Hill course and an exceptional menu. Stop in for a drink at the bar the casual extension of Randall's Restaurant, where you'll find an elegant and relaxing atmosphere inside and on the elevated deck. Make a reservation at randallslegacy.com. That's randallslegacy.com.
In this week's Marketers Report, we hear about the importance of local radio from Allison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the Baconator with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and frosty duo. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and pull through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
Delivery's at the door. Can someone please unlock?
It's been an eventful afternoon with a spike in bookings at Claudia's event space.
We'd love to host Mermaid Fest.
She was already planning on having more event planners on hand.
500? That's a lot of tails.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
All right, and welcome back to Powers Parlays, right here on Fox Sports The Gambler. In studio with me, it's John Jansen, and on the phones right now is Phil DiPietro. His friends call him Big Philly D. He's the co-owner of Aspco Screen Printing from Brooklyn, so he's a Brooklyn native. I don't know if you know this, Jansen. I'm from Brooklyn. So
what?
Yeah. My
Nice.
my co-host is probably cracking up right now because I bring that up every single show Friday nights. But Phil, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, gentlemen. My pleasure.
So
just to give a little note, most people are from Brooklyn, from the famous actors to ball players to you name it, they're from Brooklyn.
Nah, well said. Well said. The good ones, at least.
I concur.
Yeah, and what I love about Brooklyn natives is the fact that we're not New Yorkers. We're from Brooklyn, So it's a beautiful thing for sure. And it's a bond that brings people together, and that's honestly how I met Phil, through a friend of ours, Jack and Vinny Capriotti from Wings and Things. Phil, you have an amazing story. I understand, I'm going to share it a little bit with the fans and the listeners, but then I want you to kind of take it away here. You started your family had a screen printing company, right? And essentially, you got the license through most of the major league professional teams, and you actually make and print championship T-shirts. Is that right?
Yes, I print for a company called Fanatics / Majestic. What I do for them is it's called a hot market, especially in my local areas, such as the Jets, Giants, Yankees, Mets, Rangers, Islanders, Devils. When they win and you see them put the shirts on, comes from Brooklyn, New York, my factory. And it's a great time, very lucrative time for myself and my people that work for me. Very, very tough time because you're going 45, 50 hours straight, and I'm getting a little bit older now, so it becomes a little bit harder, but it's exciting, especially when you're a big time fan, especially the team that wins. Just makes it that much more exciting.
So the world is asking, and there's a lot of people on social right now texting, like, what happens to the loser shirts? And I know you and I talked about it on the phone at length, but can you share that, like, behind the scenes, like if it's a Super Bowl shirt or a championship shirt?
Well, what happens going back in the day, they would go to third world countries, people that, didn't have much. But the losing shirts, which is a minimal now, it's minimal because we make shirts. Let's take the Yankees playing the Cardinals.
Okay.
We'll make shirts for the Yankees, especially for their organization, for the people at work, so that they have them right then and there. But if they lose, the Yankees, God forbid, then those shirts get destroyed, get cut. Now, they don't go nowhere. They get wiped out, cut, and they basically become rags.
Well, that's kind of sad. I liked it the other way.
Well,
I understand it though. It's a brand. There's things going on behind the scenes, so you don't really want that. And also I'm sure there's a market and maybe some of those shirts never even made it to that third world country, right?
100%. I'll give you a good story. Very good friend of mine, Mitch Modell, who was the owner of Modell Sporting Goods Store.
Mhm.
Many, many years ago, the Islanders, when they went on their 4 straight Stanley Cups, they were losing to the Flyers,
Okay.
like three games to none. And Mitch took a shot with NHL and said, "Make me up, the championship Flyers," not realizing that the Islanders came back and won 4 straight,
Oh no.
and he had to eat a lot of shirts. They gave a discount to him, but that was a lot of money that he took a big hit on.
Wow. That's sports gambling before there was sports gambling.
Yeah. Yes.
Man.
Well said. Well said.
Gotta go to Moe's was a go-to thing, man. I remember I got my first Brooklyn Dodgers fitted from there. My grandfather, I spent I was now living near LBI down by the shore, but every August I would go back to my grandparents. They lived on in Sunset Park, and I would spend 2 weeks with them. And for my birthday, which is August 7th, he took me down to Moe's and he bought me a Brooklyn Dodgers hat. So it was something that I never had. And I always wanted because although growing up, I was a Met fan. I understood the blue was for the Brooklyn Dodgers and the orange was from the New York Giants. So
that's right.
Yeah, not having Moe's around anymore is devastating. And I'm sorry for your friend for that, but he had an amazing business for a very, very long time, and I know he gave back to the community. And I know you do too. We do appreciate that. You got your hands in everything. You mentioned that the one thing you said to me on the phone the other day was make sure just keep working. Work what off. And you do that, and you're still doing that. You got any new businesses coming through?
Well, the key to success is trying to do your best, work as hard as you can. Nothing's guaranteed. So a lot of luck, and try to venture. If you can make some bucks, venture into other things that can be profitable. I mean, I happen to be, God blessed, fortunate. I have a few things that I invested in my life, and I own a pizzeria on Staten Island called Bravo Pizzeria.
Nice.
To all you people, if you go there, pizzeria restaurant on Newdorf Lane in Staten Island, you get the upside down Sicilian. Well done, better than L&B, which is a staple pizzeria in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I'm a L&B man all my life. So, but thank God, I've been doing it around. My business now is in Sunset Park, my factory, and we try to to accommodate the local area. We do a lot of business. I have one of the best partners in the world, my kid cousin, Philip Lavodi, who without him, I'd be half the man and half the businessman that I am today. Thank God for that. Awesome. And we work at it every day, and it's a love. It's sometimes can be a little bit difficult, but what's not easy today that you have to worry about. Everything that's got a little bit ups and downs.
That's very
like
well.
The Yankees.
Oh, no
and
joke.
The Mets,
and the Mets, and
please.
Well, hopefully we'll get some championship shirts printed your way. I saw an article a few years ago with your name on it, and it was when Boston won, and you were
Oh,
yeah, there was but no, that was your team was like making 450 shirts an hour or maybe even more. Like it was nuts, man. And you shipped them up to Boston, and you said it was bittersweet. You were happy to be able to give your employees this time, but giving something to Boston was kind of hard. But you're a businessman first, and you showed it there for sure. And one thing, all the Philly listeners and New York listeners, there's no love for Boston in in either of these
no,
cities.
no. But listen, my family. I'm a big family man, and my daughter's married to a gentleman that came from Fall River in Boston. So I have to show a little allegiance. But listen, sometimes you have the opportunity to reap some rewards financially, and it's people that you hate, teams, or I should say, that you hate. You got to do what you got to do.
No.
It puts food on the table for a lot of people, and thank God for that.
Very well said. Very well said. Well, Phil, thank you. I can't wait to come tour your factory, maybe try your pizza, do whatever you need. But I appreciate you. Appreciate your time. I know you traveled today, so I'm sure you're pretty tired. But thank you for stopping in, and we'll talk soon.
My pleasure, and I can't wait. The door's open, and you'd have a big kick seeing what's going on.
Can't wait. Talk soon, brother.
Thank you, gentlemen. God bless.
You too. Thank you, Phil. It's kind of cool getting that. It's a rare thing where you get to talk to somebody who's in the know of how those shirts are created and generated. And I can't wait. I'm going to go down there. I love Brooklyn, so I'll make that trip. I'll bring all my gear, and we'll do some awesome content there. I mean, it's very unique. I know we got Rush Order Tees in our backyard that does that and stuff. But, and I know they have, they're proud partners of the Sixers and stuff like that. But I never met somebody that, I spent an hour and a half on the phone with him a couple weeks ago. He knows the business in and out. And he was there when we were kids, like seeing these shirts and like everybody making those jokes. So whereas Rush Order Tees is kind of our generation, right? So they probably already figured out it's not going to go to a third world country. We better not do that. But I also told him, like, man, in 2000, there's nothing I would have done more than try to get a Mets World Series championship shirt, knowing that it wasn't real, or even in 2015 when the Royals won. So, it's a cool thing, and I was thinking about it the other day while I was in the Philly ballpark, because they had all their World Series gear on clearance. I'm like, man, if they would have won, like, imagine how much money that would be right now. So it's a gamble. It's a gamble for these teams to put on that merch, but also the printer to make it. So it's very cool, and I just thought it was cool. So thank you.
Do you think he's going to be printing up any New York championship shirts soon?
I was going to ask him that, but I don't want to jinx it.
Didn't want to.
Yeah, and now with Hard Knocks and the Jets, I don't think that's happening either. So like, shout out to my brother Carl. Yeah, dude, that's nuts. And talk about HBO. They're celebrating probably more that the Jets got Aaron Rodgers now than the Jets are, right? Because that's a gold mine. That's an absolute gold mine for HBO. I mean, everybody's going to be tuning in. The guy is one of the hottest topics in all of news, not just sports. So, I feel so bad for Jet fans. Like, it's just classic. You're going to say Mets are going to Mets, the Jets are going to Jets. And that's such a Jets thing. And, I'd be shocked if they're able to come out from underneath that, because your business is going to be out there. It's going to be aired out there. Aaron Rodgers should do what Tom Brady did and leave for 2 weeks or whatever. I just, that's tough. That's tough on any team. I get it. It's a content driven world. We want those interviews. We want, you got All Pro Philly show, getting guys like right off the field and into it. And, there's, I know Green Legion does that too, with their shows, but so we're all trying to get that content while these guys are playing, but HBO is going to be in their face, and that's very, very tough. And I don't know how you survive that. Just happy it's not the Eagles, because we need that for this radio station, man. It's been a great ride, and I kind of, people kept asking me, like, how's it feel? Like, how's it feel to just constantly be hit as a Met fan? Like, how does it feel? And I was like, it's everything I know my whole life. So it comes second nature. I'm loyal to the last out. I'm used to it. But I also equate it to like, what are you talking about? Are you a Sixers fan? It's the same thing, for at least the last 10 years. It's the same freaking thing, like, so I think that's why Ty has become a Met fan, my co-owner, my partner in this. And he and I've become a Sixers fan in a lot of ways because of the simple fact that you could kind of understand what the other guy's going through. I mean, we did a show together. We're doing a live show when Kawhi hit that doink shot that went in. And he was devastated.
Not a fun one.
He was gutted, but I was the right guy to be right next to him. I'm telling you, like, because I've been there. Outside of Buckner, there's nothing. I was 1 years old. I was 14 months old to be exact. I remember some people like screaming and like I thought somebody was dying. So I'm assuming that was it, or somebody did die like when I was a baby. I don't know, but I swear it's my first memory, but it's highly doubtful. Like if you talk to anybody that understands child memory and gets paid for that. I'm no professional. I could just tell you I remember my grandma screaming off the top of her lungs. Could have been 88. I mean, the Mets were still a playoff team then, but who knows? Who cares? Listen.
Who cares?
Yeah, Phil's got my I want to talk Brooklyn now.
I always love a good New York, like Brooklyn
such a great accent. Such a great accent. My mom still says dork. Shout outs to Donna Powers. So it's just dude, it's
Did you have an accent at one point?
They beat it out of me when I moved here. They had me in speech classes and I felt bad because there was legit kids. I was getting taken out of class and they were spending a lot of time with me. I guess I'm happy about it now, right? Because I'm on the radio. Although maybe it would have been nice to have that, but then I couldn't hide incognito mode like I do in some of these aspects. Like Philly Captain, the 5th time he met me, he found out I was a Met fan. And it felt like when you find out the guy that you don't like is dating your daughter. You know what I mean? Like he looked at me like he wanted to murder me, but he did come out this Saturday. Saturday was a blast. I have to shout out before we get out of here, everybody who was a part of that. Dude, it was so cool. From the 7 line being there, Darren from joining, Sean Brace coming out, Kyle / Nunamaker.
Yeah, I was upset I couldn't make it out.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
Seemed like
you
a
were
nice
the
little
one
party there.
Yeah, you were running the ship here, and I know you guys were shouting it out. I know sharing, retweeting, Q102 Buster. Everybody was just it felt good, and if you could see what Brace is building here, and it's a family. And
Brace is building.
Well, all of us, but it's his.
Yeah, right.
All right.
He's like the project manager, just like overseeing things.
He
But I'm
gets
the one.
credit.
I'm the one doing the building here. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I give you that credit. He gets mad. I'm not. Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
No, but
Just in case he's listening.
He recruits the right people, and what he.
There you go.
Yeah, the right
good.
people. I mean, from Victor Williams from the beginning to, Buster, and I'm just honored to be a part of it for over a year now. Sean Bernard's killing it, and the Give Us a Shot boys are just rolling everything. And I'm so proud of those guys. And we're cooking, man. We're cooking. We're doing some crazy stuff. I every time I talk to Brace, it's like we're all moving in 5 different ways, but it's in the right move. And like we're all moving in sync, but everybody's doing something every day. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing and keep that going. But yeah, this weekend, Sheffield Shuffler came out. He's huge on Instagram. Check him out. He's a Cubs fan, but now Philly fan. So he's an MLB fan. I'll give him that. But he used to go to the games in Wrigley and people would see him shuffling home after a few too many. And they called him the Sheffield Shuffler because that was the area or the street he lived on. And that's where he got that nickname, but they turned it into this awesome Instagram, TikTok sensation. And, it allows him to enjoy the game of baseball, and then I can't forget Chris Sack. He did the doubleheader with me, man. He was there for the majority
of it.
It
doesn't take much to get Chris Sack near a ballpark.
Yeah, it was great. No, it was great, but he had to go back home to get his kids. So that, doing that and staying as long as he did on the air with me, I was over the moon for that. He was awesome. He helped me, he gave it to the 7 line, which was great. He gave that Philly perspective. He told Pete Alonso that where to stick it. And then he also, like I said, he had to go home, get his kids, and then the next morning be there for baseball brunch. So naturally, Jansen and I were there for that, and that was a ton of fun. And being able to talk baseball with him and Greg Murphy was one of the experiences I'll never forget. And Brace, I mean, just for being Brace, man, it was good seeing him animated again.
Brace.
No, dude, he came right in. He like mid-segment, came right in, grabbed the microphone, was so angry. There was so much blue there. But like I said, it's not Xfinity's fault. You can't pick your customers, right? You can pick your nose, you can't pick your customers. But so it's not their fault that many Met fans come, but also it's because there's nothing to do when you go to a Met game. Like there's nothing like Xfinity Live. So when other ballparks or other teams take it over, Philly, we should kind of be proud of that, because like we get to enjoy that every time we go to a game, right? Or a concert. Like you go to Meadowlands, good luck, man. Like what do they got? Like
I have driven by the Meadowlands twice the past few months.
Yeah.
It is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they got a mall there now, but it's not. What are you going to tailgate at the mall? You're going to go to Spencer's?
Nope.
Like, yeah, that's cool. So they there's no New York team. Like the Yankees have like the old bars, and they'll tell you it's as good. It's not as good. Xfinity Live is where it's at. Now they got the live casino. It's just nuts. Shout outs to Aaron Seifert, who is a personal friend of mine. Mike Seifert, her husband. She was smart. He was smart enough to marry her. She was dumb enough to say yes. But they were the reasons why I was able to do that show, and I appreciate it. And it was a really, really cool experience, and I'll never forget it. And hopefully they'll have us there again. So check it out on our socials. We're still chopping things up. It was 3 hours worth of content that day.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's so many different guys coming in, and like I said, it was a cool, fun event, and hopefully we'll do it again. Make sure everybody here, I'm going to say this with the most passion ever, follow our YouTube page. It's huge. Fox Sports The Gambler. We're blowing up. You're seeing the best influencers throughout Philadelphia coming in on a daily basis, whether it's Buster from Q&02, Sean Brace, John Jansen, maybe me. The Philly captain has become like, I don't know, or like our secondhand guy. Like he was there with us this weekend, which was cool. He also reshares a lot of the stuff that we do. So if we do a watch party, he'll turn it into a 4-minute, share it on his socials, and it blows up too. So we're all moving in the right direction, man. And it's fun to watch and see. And I can't wait for football season to get here, because we're just going to blow up like a tick. Also, I don't understand that. Do ticks blow up? Is that, or are they talking about the
Is that why you light them on fire? Aren't you supposed to use a lighter to get them off?
I don't know.
I guess
man.
so. I guess they just blow up.
They just blow up. And people say that we're going to blow up like a tick. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
You could be. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know.
I've
never heard.
I love the pause. Nah, man. So
I don't want to say you're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't want to call you out.
Do we got a Phillies update?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
No.
All right. And the Mets, are they on a delay?
The Met. What do you need to know about the Mets?
Yeah.
Meet the Mets. Meet the...
God, divine intervention if they don't play today. God's tired of it. No, it looks like they're going to play. They're in warm-ups right now. So 7-10 against the Brewers. Peterson's on the mound. That's the other problem, man. The worst team money could buy. Like Philly, laugh about that, dude. This is comical. You're spending this money, and this is the product you're putting out there. It's just crazy. Enjoy it, Philly, because you can know every New York Met fan right now. They don't want to look at.
Do Mets fans hate the Mets more than Phillies fans hate the Mets right now?
It's like they're just sad. I don't know, man. Like you go all the way through the last year, right? The Padres series, the Braves series before that. You had to beat the Braves one game. You had DeGrom to do it. You had Walker to do it. You had
the leads to do it,
dude, and you had Max Scherzer, and you just had to beat the Braves once, and you win your division. And the road to the World Series becomes easier. And then instead you don't. You end up playing the Padres. It goes 3 games, you lose. Musgrove, like with his glowing ears, I don't know, like I'm not a doctor. I don't know, but if you're telling me sticky stuff's a thing, the guy's ears shouldn't be glowing. I don't know. I've never seen it since, right? So it's not like a daily occurrence with him, but it definitely was a lot of sweat. I don't know if there was any rosin on his hands, but it's weird, man. It's been an awful season. You've got numerous guys hit with sticky stuff. Max Scherzer right after going on foul territory gets banned the next day. You could tell the umpires watch foul territory. That was nuts. Shout out to those guys. Their content's been amazing. It's you just gotta, I hate it. And I was rolling my eyes in the beginning of the weekend when I kept seeing LOL Mets throughout Fox Sports The Gambler, mostly Chris Sack. But now it's definitely LOL Mets. So I might even make a shirt. But
I would buy that shirt. LOL Mets.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
In red and white. In red and white. No. All right. I'll sell it. But listen, this is Powers Parlays on Fox Sports The Gambler. You guys have a great weekend. Hopefully some of my bets actually happen. I don't know. Go Phils, go Mets for that parlay, and then check out Bryce
Has that
Harper.
ever been said before at the same time? Back to back
games.
Go Phils, go Mets.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
probably not.
When all you got to rely on right now is your bets hitting, I mean, that's it. I wouldn't be saying it, wouldn't be betting it if there was any hope for anything. So who knows? Crazier things happen. You could get hot 2 weeks.
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll make a movie about it. This is Powers Parlays on Fox Sports The Gambler. Thank you, John Jansen, for spending the entire day in the studio just so I could do this show. And thank you to our guest, Phil. That was amazing. Please check him out. I'm going to tag him in all of our socials, and won't be the last time you hear him on this show. So good night, everybody. Enjoy your Tuesday. Stay out of the rain.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Apixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com.